everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. Oh my goodness, I haven't caught up with you all for so long. It feels like forever. Firstly, I wanted to apologize to all of my viewers for my absence here on YouTube and also on some of my social media. My posts have been a little bit seldom and spasmodic. I really am very sorry for just kind of disappearing on you all. It wasn't my intention, unfortunately, due to technical problems. That's the way it turned out. So to catch you up to speed, I started having problems with my internet a few months ago now, and the problem became increasingly worse. So I had to liaise with my provider, my internet provider, to try and rectify the problem. Around the same time, I started having printer problems as well, so there was a little bit of to and fro with my printer, but most of my problems and being disconnected from you all had to do with my internet. So I'm really happy to say that that appears to be fixed now, and my printer seems to now be playing nicely. And I also very recently lost two very much loved family members, and so I have missed you all, and I have taken a little bit of time to build myself back up again and get to a place where I can reconnect with you all and start sharing again. While my internet was down, I started a couple of projects. One of them I can't actually video, and I did do a video to share the kits that I was using for that project, and I may still share that video, but you will need to be aware that it was pre-recorded, so some of what I say isn't necessarily relevant now. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to upload that video once I'd recorded it, so keep an eye out for that. I would like to show the kits that I purchased, so I will probably still go ahead and share that with you. The other project I started was my tabletops, and I will talk to you more about those in a different video, but sometimes you start projects and you go, what am I doing? And that was one of those projects, but I have them in now and I'm loving them, and I look forward to sharing more about that with you in future videos. But for today, I wanted to share with you something I've been working on for a little while now, are some new kits. Now, one of them I've actually uploaded onto Etsy already, and the others will be coming. I've got lots of balls in the air at the moment. I'm juggling a lot of things at the moment. So the tabletops I only finished 2 days ago. And to install them, I had to literally shift everything off my desks and put the new tabletops on and then reorganize everything back onto my desks. Now, I've digressed a little bit because I wasn't talking to you about that in this video, but I've had lots and lots going on, and the kits are just one of those things. So uploading is a little bit slower than I would like, but uploading to Etsy, of course. But keep your eye out because they are coming, and I'm excited to show you all. And I've got some ideas on how I want to use them. The kits kind of came about from my own personal needs, and as I mentioned, one of the kits is uploaded already, and I have actually used it quite a while ago. It's just taken me a little while to make sure I was happy with it before I shared with you all. So, okay, so my first kit I have to share with you is called Eggplant Tag's Eggplant. Now, you will notice when I share these kits, I haven't been terribly creative with my titles, and in hindsight, I probably should have, but when I was creating these kits, I kind of was creating them for me, so I wasn't really thinking about how I was sharing them with all of you, just how I was saving them for me to find. So, so this one, Eggplant Tag's Eggplant. Now these are some Eggplant tags that I'm just checking I'm in camera. Some tea stain tags that I created a little while back, and I was playing with tea stain colors and I fell in love with these tags and decided to scan them, and they translate into the most beautiful color pop on a journal page. I just love them. So in total in this kit there are 20 pages. There are 10 pages of what I call bright tags, and then 10 pages of the same tags that I call light tags, and you will see that when I show you more of the kit. So this is the first half of the kit, the bright, and it started off with 4 pages of scanned images of tags, and I then manipulated some of those tags to create larger tags that would work for a different array of things. So they are my 4 pages. This page is similar to one of the other pages, but I've taken the smaller tags off. That was purely because as I was using them, I wasn't using the smaller tags as much as I was using the larger ones. So I wanted to be able to print the larger tag without the smaller ones, so that I wasn't wasting the little ones, or wasting the paper, the print, the printer ink. So that was where that one came about. I then enlarged that image to make larger tags or journaling cards, and that I believe is the same tags but the reverse side of the same tags. And then I've taken some of those tags and I have enlarged them to basically fit an A4 landscape page. These 2 tags are the same as these 2 tags. And then I've done the same with the large tags. These 2 are the same, this one's different, purely because of how they fit on the page. And then the same with the large journaling cards. So these 2 are the same and this one's different. So they are my 10 pages for that kit. And then from there, I've taken the same pages and I have made a... Sorry, I need to check my camera because I'm not used to working on this desktop, so I have to get my head around that. Okay, so this is the same 10 pages, but I've made the color a little bit lighter. Now, the reason I did that was for 2 things. When I was using the tags in this kit, I found that the color matching worked for some focal points, but for other focal points, the lighter version of those tags worked better. So I've incorporated the bright and the light version into the kit because I feel like it gives more choices when decorating them and embellishing them. So these are the light tags, again 10 pages, the same pages as the first half of the kit that I showed you. And I have to say, I've been using these for, like I said, quite a little while now, and I really love them. I love the versatility that they've given, and that pop of color is just so fun. I should turn those around for you, sorry. And that is the last page. So that is the Tea Stain Tags Eggplant. And then once I had created those, I got to playing with some focal points. Now, I've got some images here from Art Vintages and Farmerage that I haven't used a whole lot of because I find it really difficult to match the bright colours in those with what I'm using, particularly when it comes to tea stain tags. I feel like they're too bright, and with some of the background papers that I use, I feel like those focal points are just too bright. They are mostly vintage type images. And so with that in mind, I decided to play with the colour of the Eggplant Tea Stain Tags kit and see what I could come up with. So I've created a few different color variations and I'm excited to start playing with these. I haven't played with these. I have taken my images and I have played with the focal points that I was talking about just to see how they looked on the tags, and I was really loving the results I was getting. So I've gone with these kits. So there's 7 kits in total that I've created using the Tea Stain Tags Eggplant kit as my starting point, and I have color changed them to create some really fun color backgrounds that I think work with lots of images. So my first one is Tea Stain Tags Vintage Blue. Again, I wasn't very creative with the title, I'm sorry, but now this is the bright half of the kit and it is, as you see, very bright, and I love that. I'm really excited to be able to share these kits with you now so that I can get them fussy cut and start creating with them with you so I can show you what I'm talking about and how I would like to use them. What I do need to mention too is that a couple of the tags, particularly the smaller ones, the original tag was slightly warped and bent out of shape because of the tea staining. So I think this image here in particular, the edge isn't straight necessarily on the scanned image, but it is really easy to fix that up when you're fussy cutting. So I decided to go ahead and leave that in there. And as much as they are small tags, I do find I have a need for small tags, so I think they're a really fun size. So I'm just going to flip you through what I have here. Like I said, I have 7 kits to show you with the colours, so I don't want to take too long showing you. I'm excited about these really tall tags. One of the reasons I created them that size, so that's the vintage blue, that is the bright, and then, whoops, and then I have the light version. One of the reasons I created the taller tags was because I've made journal covers with pockets in them that I've wanted to create a tag to go into the pocket, and I figured that that size would be the perfect size to have in a journal cover pocket. I also like the idea that I could manipulate them, but I will share more about that later. Oops, I've done it again, so I'll turn them around so that you can get a proper view. And I was printing these kits that I was having all sorts of printer problems. My prints were coming out with lines all over them, and I was so disheartened because I was like, I finally got these kits ready. I really want to share with everybody, and I couldn't get a good printout to do a video to share with you all. So that was the vintage blue kit, and now I have a vintage red. Loving that pop of colour. I don't know about you, but I can visualize it on a tea stain page because I've kind of put them together, but so fun. So this is the bright in the vintage red. Again, just remembering the smaller tags, they're not quite straight. I was surprised actually when I went to fussy cut just how out of shape they were. I hadn't realized when I went to scan them that they were so changed in shape, but they've scanned okay, and they fussy cut quite well. So that is the vintage red bright, and then I have the vintage red light. I feel like a yo-yo. I have to keep getting up to check the camera to make sure I'm in camera. So again, part of the reasoning between the bright and the light was some people may not want to use the bright images to get their colour pop, maybe it's not their forte, maybe they prefer the more softer muted tones. It's also a good option for ink saving if you prefer the softer tones. And I just found that the brights and the lights worked with different focal points. So now I have a vintage green, and I have to say I'm in love with this green. Of all the colours that I've done, this one speaks to me the loudest, which I'm surprised by because I'm not a huge green, or I wasn't a green lover when I was growing up as a kid. Let's put it that way. But I don't know, there's something about this colour that just makes me happy. I don't know, I'm seeing lines in this. I don't know if you can see that. If you can, I apologise. I didn't realise they were there. But I have also decided that once I embellish them, probably not going to see some of those lines anyway. So, and the larger tags in the bright green. So that is the vintage green bright. And then I have the vintage green light. Love them. I'm so excited to be able to fussy cut these and start using them. You have no idea. They've been sitting in my room waiting and waiting for me to do a video to share with you all. So I will be very, very busy fussy cutting. Now, of all the kits that I did, this one I found the brightest. And I did question whether it was too bright. It is, of course, the vintage orange. Now, I haven't kept it a secret that I'm not a huge orange fan. I do like I do like a rich, deep vintage orange, almost like a burnt orange, and this very much speaks to me. And I did check it with some of the focal points that I was talking about, and I really loved it. So I've gone with it. As much as it looks really bright now, trust me, once it's all put together, and I'm not talking from experience because I haven't actually played with these yet, but I plan to do it with you all because I wanted you to see what I have in mind. I wanted you to see my reaction to how they come together while I'm using them. I have a really good feeling about them. So I've kept this really, really bright orange. It's very focal, but I really love it. And that surprises even me. Okay, so that is the vintage orange in the bright. And then we have the vintage orange in the light. And of course, if you have these kits, you don't have to print all of the tags that are in here. If you have a preference to the bright colors, you may choose to only print the bright. If you have a preference to the light colors, you may choose to only print the light. Or like me, you might decide you like both. So it's all about choices. I was watching something just recently and somebody referred to themselves as the Queen of Choices, and I was like, that is so me. I like to have lots of choices. Okay, so that is the vintage orange in the light. And then I have Tea Stain Tags vintage yellow. Again, the bright yellow is quite bright, quite vocal, but I really do love it. I mean, clearly I love it, or I wouldn't be sharing it with you all. I just had a visual of one of the focal points that I checked this against, and it looks so fun. Whoops, I've done it again. So the tall skinny tags, the wider tall tags, and then the large journaling cards. So that is Tea Stain Tags Vintage Yellow, and then in the bright, and then I have Tea Stain Tags Vintage Yellow in the light version. I'm not sure if you can hear, we have a thunderstorm outside at the moment. It's just starting to rumble. The skies are just starting to speak. So if you're getting that noise in the camera, I do apologise for that. I didn't realise that that was approaching when I decided to do this video. So my tall thin tags, my tall wide tags, and my journaling cards. So that is the vintage, the Tea Stain Tags Vintage Yellow in the light. Now you do need to be aware they are complete sets. So the bright and the light come in one complete kit. You cannot purchase just the bright or just the light. It's just the way I've set the kits up. Okay, so then I have Tea Stain Tags Vintage Pink. And I will actually say this pink isn't quite what I thought I was aiming for. And then again, I had a little play, a little look with some of the focal points that I've got here. And I was like, oh, I really like that. So again, I've gone with that colour. It was a little bit of a surprise, you're going to love this colour moment when I chose this pink. Love these tall tags. Okay, so that is the vintage pink in the bright. And then I have the vintage pink in the light. I get excited every time I look through these, truly. I cannot wait to start using them. So that was the vintage pink in the lights. And then my last kit is, can you guess? It's a vintage purple. Okay, so this is the bright half of the kit in the vintage purple. So fun. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. I just want to share with you so I can get them fussy cut and start playing. I'm so excited to be able to start using these. Okay, they were the brights in the vintage purple. And then last but not least, the other half of that kit, I have the vintage purple light. Love them. I want to play. And the last page in the vintage purple lights. So they are all of my kits. As I said, at this stage I've only uploaded one of those kits, and by the time this video is uploaded there may be more. So what I did want to do very quickly just to show you the difference in the colours. So the bright is on top and the light is underneath. So bright and light. And if I turn it around the same way, so you're looking at the same tags. So these two are the same as these two. There is not quite as much different in the eggplant kit as there is in the other colours. I think partly because of the fact that this was an original scan, and when I made the lighter version, if I went too much lighter than I have, it looked really washed out. So I liked the difference between those. And then so this is the blue. I'm hoping it's showing okay in camera. So the bright is on top, so the two bright against the two lighter versions. So there is a significant difference between them, and I really love the choices that that gives when choosing focal points to go with them. So looks that way. So that is the red. Those two are the same as those two. So I'm hoping that you can see in camera the difference between the bright version and the light version. And again, you get both the brights and the lights in the same kit. That was the vintage red. And the vintage green, the bright two versus the light two. So fun. The vintage orange. Now I will let you know, these have all been printed on matte photo paper. Obviously, depending on what photo paper you use, whether it's matte or gloss or what have you, also the paper that you use, the colours aren't going to necessarily be exactly the same as what you see me share with you. The colours may vary slightly depending on your printer and your paper of choice. But I know myself comparatively, if I'm creating a kit and looking at colours, if I think that they print similarly to the colours in other kits that I print here, I know that they are going to suit whatever I'm making, because obviously I print everything onto the same choices of paper or card. So the same should apply with you, although the colours may vary between my print version and yours. Helps if I straighten that. They should be comparable to other things that you've printed. So the light yellow, sorry, the bright yellow and the light yellow. I hope I made sense when I explained that. It made sense in my head. So the bright pink and the light pink. And then last but not least, we have the bright purple and the light purple. So I hope that you enjoy looking through these kits. I've really enjoyed creating them, and I am so excited to start using them. You have no idea. Again, I wanted to thank everybody for your support, and I've had a lot of people who have contacted me over the last quite a few weeks to check in with me to see if I'm okay, to make sure I haven't disappeared off YouTube and social media forever. I do apologize for making you concerned about that. And to everybody who has expressed their understanding about the internet problems that I've had, I'd also like to thank you, because you have no idea how much just that clarification of your understanding has meant to me, because with something like the internet, the only way to fix it is to get somebody outsourced from your home to fix it. It's way out of my depths of knowledge, and when you're relying on others, it doesn't happen quite as quickly as you hoped. So your understanding certainly helped my patients get me through. So I am really excited to be back, and I look forward to seeing you all soon, everybody. Please stay inspired, stay safe, and happy crafting. I'll see you soon, everybody. Bye for now.